Hello everyone and welcome back to World of Warcraft. Today we are going to be doing the Draenei Heritage Armor questline. I've actually already done a video on the Darkspear Troll Heritage Armor questline if you want to check that out. But we are going to be using my Draenei Shaman here, who is only level 64, but I believe they said if you're at least level 60, you can go ahead and do this questline for your characters. And this is her right here. Usually I've been leveling her mainly as a resto shaman, since it's a little easier to queue into dungeons as a healer than as a DPS, but I have her do swap back and forth between resto and elemental, since I want to focus just on intel gear, because I remember what it was like as a shaman main back in BFA, doing both resto and enhancement, swapping between both agility gear and intel gear, which was a bit of a pain. And I figured it'd be a little simpler and easier to be able to swap back and forth between gear if you're sticking with one stat like intel, so just between resto and elemental. Anyways. A parcel arrives for you from the Exodar, bearing the seal of the Grand Artificer. You open the small box and you find a smooth hexagonal crystal about the size of your palm. When you touch it, a holographic message flashes to life in the air above it. In the message, Grand Artificer Ramul instructs you to come to the Exodar at your earliest convenience.
Hello! Hey, is this hologem still muted? Ah, no. Good. When you receive this champion, come to the Exodar, swiftly. I need your help on a special project.
Oh! How nice of them to give me something to teleport.
There you are, champion. Hey, I thought perhaps the hologem I sent did not have enough charge.
Good to see you, Ramul.
Our time is now, hero.
I'm pretty sure that is the one and only Darren DePaul voicing Ramul, if my memory serves correctly. And of course you guys remember Ramul, right? From Legion? When he helped get us to Argus? My apologies for bringing you here on such short notice, Watatakar. Yes, I renamed my Draenei because I was... At the time, I was watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I became such a fan of the show, I renamed a couple of my shaman after characters from the show. This one is named after Katara. Water Katara, get it? The other, who is my Volpera, she is named Fire Azula. Get it? Fire Azula. And those were the only ones I could really come up with. I'm not good with names, but I figured, like, when I think of the shaman, after what I saw Aang do in that show, and I was like, man, I would love if my shaman could do stuff like that, you know? Like, really just emphasize those kinds of, like, control of the elements, you know? That's what I want Elemental Shaman to be. You know, something, a class that wields the power of the elements, like, in their hands and controls it with such incredible power and force, you know, like, straight up water bending and earth bending and such. And so, yeah, that was the idea behind it. But anyways. But your help right now would be most appreciated. I have found myself with many surprise deadlines. Surprise and deadlines are not words that I like together in the same sentence.
We will endure.
The Prophet wished to personally ask for your help with the Tishamat, but since he is working elsewhere, I asked you first to jumpstart our task. My colleague and I have been working on a special project, and since the Prophet has declared today the Tishamat, we will unveil it at the celebration. For this, I need the emitter, but it needs an overhaul. We only have time for a hot wiring. Get some filaments and a soldering tool from the crates nearby. I want Katara, and then maybe I can wire it to an array.
Were you not informed of the occasion? The Prophet has declared we celebrate the Tishamat today. I lend you my strength. May the Legion fall before you. You might recall, the Tishamat was a yearly sacrament on Argus. A time to reflect on the burdens of your past, learn from them, and commit to a path forward. Come, speak with me. We will endure. It has not been celebrated in many years. But the Prophet feels strongly that tradition must be revived, and that now is the correct time to do it. I lend you my strength.
Where is the Prophet? Prophet Velen is occupied at the moment. He is taking care of a very small mission that he wanted to attend personally. Nothing to worry about. He assured me that he will be back in time for the ceremony. Why did we abandon the Tishamat for so long? The same reason that many of our ancient traditions were abandoned. Constantly being on the run from the Legion left little time to consider anything but survival. Tomorrow was not guaranteed, so yesterday might as well not exist. But all that changed now. What could be more exciting?
Our project is fitting for the Tishamat. That is why Velen has asked us to present it to everyone at the celebration. But we will present nothing if the emitter is not fixed. Connect the Arcanite crystal arrays. Perhaps then it will power up.
By the way, in case you're wondering, noticing that, yes, I did make another Draenei after I unlocked the Eridar cosmetics, and I made her a warlock, because of course I did. I was going to have her strictly be a Destro as another way to learn Destro kind of from the ground up to get better at it. But she's only level 13, so she can't do this questline, so... And I've had this Draenei Shaman for quite a long time. I was leveling her kind of the old way that we used to have, where I was taking her... So when I first made this this Shaman, after I took her through the starting zones here, including Blood and Style, I was kind of working my way down through areas like the Stone Town Mountains. Actually, I think I may have skipped that, and I worked on the questing in places like Desolus, and then down to Faralos. And I was kind of like wanting to get more familiar with these zones and the questing, since I kind of missed out on some of those when I was initially questing through here as one of my Horde characters. But then some of the changes happened in Shadowlands, where we could time walk, and that's when I took her to Legion to finish leveling her through Legion, because I really like the Shaman Order Hall stuff. But I've had this character for a long time. I just haven't finished leveling her.
Come, speak with me.
I need to get closer.
Good. The emitter is functional. Now, we just need the presentation and its presenter. Our time is now, hero. The Vindicar is at your disposal.
Not my finest work, but it will do. Light willing, it will remain functional until our project is revealed and the celebration is over.
We will endure. May the Legion fall
During this
for you.
Tishamat, Atanya and I will present our project schematics. Atanya is High Artificer of Shatrath. Her father was my late mentor, the famed Exarch Hataru. Hataru's hoof plates are hard to fill, but Atanya has more than done so. She has the schematics, and she should be here when they are presented. But she is not responding to my messages. Atanya seldom leaves the city, but surely she can make an exception for the Tishamat. Perhaps you can reason with her.
Atanya can be as stubborn as a talbuck in the mud, but do not let her turn you away. Go swiftly. Use my hologem if you need.
Okay. To Shatrath.
If you are here to interrupt me, be advised that I have an arc welder and 0 patience.
Look, Atanya, I'm not here to be an enemy or to get on your bad side or anything. Just stay calm and just hear me out.
The title High Artificer means I
am
very
busy. What do you want? Ramul needs you to bring your schematics to the Exodar and present them at the Tishamat.
Leaving so soon? As I told Ramul, the schematics are ready. But if he is waiting for me at the Exodar, he can keep waiting. My work is here in Shatrath. I will not put it on hold to attend some archaic holiday.
I don't think I've ever seen that hair on a Draenei. That's actually really cute, how she has her hair like that.
Yes, Arc non poros.
I have a data crystal prepared. The schematics are on it. My apprentice can find it for you. I have no time to leave Shatrath.
Want a
My schematics speak for themselves. Each calculation has been verified. It is respectful of all building codes. I even included a layout of the channels that the power grid must follow. Ramul knows the project. He already signed off on everything. He can explain it to the masses himself. I do not need to waste my valuable time traveling to the Exodar for this ridiculous holiday. My apprentice will give you the schematics on a data crystal. Now take it and leave.
Perhaps get the crystal from Berun. Then get out of my workshop.
Alright. Sorry to waste your time.
Arcanon Poros, good fortune and hello.
Ramul sent Atanya many messages about the Tishamat. They usually have a good relationship, but she ignored them and has been very annoyed ever since. Well, more annoyed than usual. She claims the travel time to the Exodar cuts into her workload, but I think it's really something to do with the Tishamat. Lessening her workload should at least cheer her up, yes? I know she has a Draenei shipment coming into the city, but it's late. Maybe you could track it down? Perhaps then she will have time to travel to the Exodar. I'll try to locate the Draenei shipment.
It's worth a try. Though if the Tishamat is what is putting her in a bad mood, it might not work.
Well, we may as well try. I am dragon flying in Outland. How awesome is this?
Hey you! Lend us a hand? Our cargo went haywire and knocked crates off our wagon.
Nether Storm Draenei is the worst. We should have reinforced the crates.
Well,
I need to target something first.
Thank you. We will handle the crates. You can take those Draenei fragments to the crystal smiths.
The Naru have not forgotten us.
greetings. If you are in need of crystal smithing services, I am not sure that we have time for any new orders, but I will see what I can do. The Artificers has been keeping us very busy recently. Here is some of High Artificer's Draenei order. The rest is on the way.
The lost shipment! Tell the High Artificer we will process it after the Tishamat. We are closing for the holiday.
Oh, she's not going to be happy to hear that. So, Atanya, just stay calm and hear me out.
Ugh, I just had it. Another.
Why are you still here? Barun is distracted enough without someone looking about. I took your Draenei shipment to the crystal smiths. Here are your completed work orders.
Leaving so soon? You! If I needed help, I would have asked for it. My work is very precise. I don't need a clumsy novice's hands in it.
Excuse me?
Loon, get the crystal. You, take it to Ramul. Tell him I have my reasons for not attending the Tishamat.
Yes, High Artificer. Come, champion. I will get the crystal for you.
Novice.
It'd be an honor to one day be a High Artificer.
You know, that's not as bad as Magatha calling me a child, but it's almost up there.
Stay safe.
She needs to bring the attitude down a peg, because it's getting close to a certain territory of a word that would rather not use on my channel. It was worth a try. It seems it will be difficult to get her to the Tishamat, but I have another idea.
I should get back to work.
There are ways that I'm sure you know for Draenei to speak to the dead. It's not the same as having a loved one back, but Hataru's ashes were taken to Akunadun after the soul priest reclaimed the temple. Maybe they might know a way to help Atanya with her loss?
I was afraid of this. It's not her work. It's the Tishamat itself. The Tishamat is a time of remembrance and of letting go of the past. She lost her father, Exarch Hataru, in the siege. Speaking of him saddens and angers her. Atanya may not be ready for the rituals of the Tishamat, but maybe we can help her.
I'll see what I can do. No, not now, a doll. Oh, get ready to hear the screeching of the thing over here. Oh, hey, Dore. Huh.
You bring news?
I apologize, but we are in the midst of a soul-binding ritual. There is much to be done for the spirits in our care before we voyage to the Exodar to answer the Prophet's call to the Tishamat. Is there something that requires our urgent attention? What are you doing with these vigilants? When Akundun was destroyed, most souls housed here were torn to shreds. Many who survived succumbed to madness, yet some were not so far gone that they could not be saved. We knew that binding souls to vigilance often had a calming effect, not unlike swaddling a child. The weight of a physical body seems to ground their emotions. We keep them in the vigilance only temporarily. It is but a splint for a broken bone while the limb heals. Where do you get the vigilance from? Easy for me to say. High Artificer Atanya manufactures them for us in Shatrath. We are aware that it is not her specialty, but she insists on making them herself. I have a feeling I know why. I thought Akundun was abandoned after the war. Not entirely. Some of us hid from the orcs here. After the invaders were driven from its sacred halls, we began the slow work of repairing the damage that the Shadow Council did to Akundun. The dead deserve the rest that Akundun promised them. The orcs will not have taken that from them, nor from the others, who will one day join them. Our dead are still being interred here? Some. Those who died in Shatras were cremated after the city was reclaimed. Slowly we have been relocating their ashes to Akundun and giving their souls the rights that they were denied. Eventually the same will be done to those who yet languish in the path of glory. High Artificer Atanya will not attend the Tishamat because she still mourns her father. Can you help her? Atanya? So it is finally time. There is a matter that you should This is a matter that you should discuss with our Exarch. Your Exarch?
This too shall pass.
Thank you, Nimeran. I take it you can see me now, champion?
Maladar?
I can hear the souls of the dead.
It is good to have visitors. The honored dead here are well cared for, but not many travel to commune with them. Their deaths can be a painful reminder of what the Draenei have endured.
There is no turning
I
back
believe we
now.
may be able to help, but perhaps you could aid me first. When we received word that the Tishamat was upon us, we hurried to prepare our most tortured spirits for the journey to the Exodar. The celebration sacraments may help them rest peacefully. However, they must consent to being moved. So we must commune with and soothe them first. Will you help calm these spirits? Afterward, I will take you to where Hataru is entombed and give you what you seek.
Remember, meet me in the upper reaches. We will commune with the spirits there to prepare them for the journey.
All right.
This is the tomb of Exarch Larohir, the Prophet's general. We will commune with him first.
All right.
He defended Shatrath until his dying breath. Spirits seek his protection still. Alas, we must return them to rest.
I see. Victims by the orcs when they assaulted the Black Temple and just Outland in general. Even children.
He gives his consent. Seal the urn with the mark of Draenei. May the Tishamat relieve Larohir of the guilt he feels at not saving all of Shatrath. Let us commune now with Exarch Kelios, the first Vindicator and Bastion of Kerebor. He fought the darkness there, but it followed him in death. Light his tomb, so that he may see once more.
Okay, this is cool. They're using, basically when you use a black ink potion to represent darkness. That's cool.
Take care. The smaller the flame, the more swiftly it burns out.
Oh, okay. So I should light the bigger candles first. I see. Oh, I see.
Kelios has agreed to the Tishamat. Seal his urn. May Kelios no longer fear the darkness. and the light ease his pain.
I do like how there was an option there for that other light over there to just light all them all at once, but it would take longer. I like it that's an option.
Restelan, Larohir's mentor. His is a bloody story of betrayal. Let us commune with him now. He unwittingly gave the orcs the weapon that destroyed him and Telmor. We must dispel the shades of his guilt.
I recognize who that is.
It is a miracle that his soul survived those ravages. He consents. Please, seal his urn. It may take many Tishmats before Restelan can fully rest. But I will help him, no matter what. The dead speak to those who listen.
Why do only these souls need to be taken to the Tishamat? On Argus it was common to perform the sacrament of Tishamat on behalf of a departed soul to help them move on. These 3 souls are volatile. While they show promise, we are having trouble fully separating them from their attachments. With the revival of the Tishamat, we hope that this will be the key to helping them.
Never
Thank you
hesitate to
for
do
what
what
you have
is
done.
right.
Moving a spirit's remains can disturb them greatly, so they must be calmed as much as possible, so the journey can be made safely.
Tradition binds my people. There is
Fortunately,
no
not
turning
all
back
of the
now.
fallen entombed here in Akundun suffer as these 3 do. Some ease gracefully into death, like soil settling after a rainfall. Exar Kataru is one such soul. Thanks be to the light that he Rasisi. Come, I will show you to his tomb.
Remember. Thank you for your help, champion. The tomb of Exarch Hataru is just across the way. Follow me. Exarch Hataru has accepted his life, his death, his triumphs, and his mistakes. Approach him and make your request.
The urn is covered in a fine layer of dust. It appears to have been undisturbed for many years. I think your daughter Ratanya still grieves for you. He silently points to the lockbox.
I sense that Exarch Hataru's only regret is leaving his daughter behind. Taking the Exarch's gift back to his daughter may bring them both peace.
Hataru's artificing lens, a small golden lens worn with age and use. The precisely carved facets allow artificers to see the energy channels running through the crystals used in their own work. I'll bet you she's gonna recognize this lens instantly. She'll look at it and instantly recognize it as her father's. That's my guess. And if there's anything that's gonna help kind of, you know. Hataru bows to you and then he smiles. Let's see if this works.
For light's sake, why are you back? Yes, Argnon Poro.
Tanya glares at you tiredly. If you say one more thing about the Tishamat, you will wake up at the bottom of the Aldorais with my hoof print on your back. I spoke to your father. He wanted you to have this.
Perhaps we can chat later. What is wrong with you? I tell you to leave, and instead you rob my father's grave!
Atanya, I sent them to Akendun. Exar Kataru wouldn't want this for you. He would want you to be around your people and to show them all you've made, not to stay locked away here.
What? I just had it. Another good idea down the drain for the sake of pleasantries.
Fine. For a moment, she looks like she might snatch the lens from you. Instead, she takes it from you gently.
Want a better future?
My mother died on a
have to
colony
create
planet.
it first.
My father and I helped each other move past that. But when he died in the siege of Shatrath, watching the walls of his greatest accomplishment crumble to dust, there was no one left for me. So I worked. And now I have the schematics of my own Shatrath. A better Shatrath. I'll go to the Exodar. But if Ramul says one word about it, I will make him eat his soldering tool.
My father was Draenor's greatest artificer. He lived for Shatrath and died in it. Sometimes I wondered if I'd end up the same. But I will not. The city I have designed is what this one should have been. What it could have been. I will take the data crystal to the Exodar, to the Tishamat.
Someday, I hope my research helps my people.
Oh, thank you, Watakatara. I thought she was going to throw something at you, but that went a lot better than expected. I'm really happy that you could help Atanya. My parents died when my hooves were still soft, and Atanya has been the closest thing to family that I've ever really had. Anyway, I'll clean up here and then I will see you at the Tishamat.
Stay safe. Dionis Aka.
I am glad you could join us, High Artificer. You have spared me many headaches.
Let's transfer these schematics before I change my mind.
I lend you my strength.
In some ways, getting Atanya here was a more difficult victory than the fall of Antorus. Levity aside, I am glad that she is here. I knew that Tishamat would be hard for her. Her father was a great man, and we all mourn his passing. This Tishamat is gearing up to be one for our hollow records. Even Hatun is here.
Within the...
Even on Azeroth, demons are brazenly bold.
Oh my gosh, Hatun is here. Nabundo! My buddy!
I will do my best to guide you.
I have seen worse injuries than these, but I share Hatun's concerns. Please see to it that the situation in Bloodmist is resolved before the Tishamat begins. I will stay here and tend to the wounded. What situation in Bloodmist?
Remember,
It's good to see you, my fellow member of the Earthen Ring. What's going on, Hatun?
Dark Fallen will not give up.
Velen awaits us back in Bloodmist. Come, we will put an end to this. Wait, when did you and your people arrive here? Velen sent a messenger to Argus some days ago to announce the Tishamat. I do not control my people. Those who wish to go were free to make the choice. I did not. But then Velen sent another message earlier today requesting my aid here. I considered refusing, but Velen has been agreeable lately. And it is satisfying to see him admit when he cannot solve a problem himself. Oh, come on, Hatun.
Our time.
What the Qatar? Velen told me that I may find you here. He needs your assistance. The satyr that infests the nearby island have been ambushing Draenei traveling for the Tishamat. Velen and I have been attempting to solve the problem quietly. He does not wish to mobilize the Vindicators and alarm his people on a day of sacrament. But despite our efforts, the attacks have continued. The event may need to be cancelled if we cannot get the demons under control. Come with me so we may end this threat.
Take this man away. We will fly to meet Velen in Bloodmist together. Velen reports that there were at least 4 satyr attacks on Draenei traveling through Azure Mist since morning. I wish to rally the Vindicators, but Velen does not want to cause panic and darken the Tishamat. He wants to quietly drive the satyrs back into Bloodmist to keep travelers safe. For now. But Velen realized this half measure will not work without assistance. So he called upon me and other recent allies to help. We are experts in the killing of demons, as are you. With your aid, we should accomplish this quickly and quietly.
This corruption caused by the Exodar crash feels strange.
Indeed. The nether energies seeping from the ship have made Bloodmist difficult to cleanse.
Arzal.
I will hear you out.
Even with the corruption, this land is so alive. There is grass, water, unmarred skies. The air is so clean it almost hurts to breathe. If any demon threatens this place, I will be the first to destroy them. Yeah, this is quite different compared to Argus. I'm sure you've noticed. So what have you and the other penitents been doing? For the time being, we are aiding the Krokul and Lightforged on Argus. Few have been allowed to serve the Draenei here on Azeroth. I personally evaluate every penitent and vouch for them on my own life, so it is not a matter of distrust. Rather, it is that we have no desire to distress the Draenei with our open presence. They are aware of the hand of the Prophet that the Prophet has extended to us, but that does not erase what we did to them.
Wisdom guide your path.
Velen, good to see you.
Something is amiss on this world.
Oh, finally they replace his old lines and actually have his more recent voice actor actually having do with the, the actual interaction lines, I was hoping to resolve the sudden satyr attacks before I formally announced the Tishamat to all. But alas, I am grateful Ramul called you to the Exodar early. I assume Hatun has explained the situation to you? Yes, Prophet.
Many depend on you.
Do not be afraid. Beware.
The Legion may be one entity, but it is vast. The demons that comprise it are as varied as the innumerable worlds that they have conquered. But I have had no dealings with Satyr. From what the Prophet has told me, they seem disorganized, intelligent, certainly, but feral in their malevolence. I am inclined to believe their recent attacks are random, but perhaps not. Bring me the totems that they have scattered across Bloodmist. I may be able to ascertain what. I think that's a bit of a typo there. If anything, that their end goal is.
For thousands of years we hunted our own people. It may take that time and more to be redeemed.
I will lead my people through any darkness.
I do not like this place. It is too open, too empty. Not enough places to set your back against.
I will...
Arzel and I are on the same mind. We must know the strength of these satyr before we attempt to drive them back with force. Else we may be walking into a fight we cannot win. I can learn much about my enemies by observing what damage they leave in their wake. The wildlife here was corrupted by the Exodar's lingering energies, but I suspect the demon's presence made it worse. Collect bones from the local wildlife for me. Studying them may give us some clues.
Why have you allowed these demons to infest this area for this long?
We have lacked the time and resources needed to eliminate them. Other threats strained our forces.
Their opportunism ends today. I will slaughter each one personally, if needs require it.
By the way, in case you're wondering why I chose to play this shaman as either Resto and Elemental, it's partly because, let's just say, as someone who has mained an enhancement shaman for quite a long time, I know enhancement pretty well. Whereas Elemental has just never really gelled with me entirely. There's just something about it that, I don't know, it just doesn't feel quite right for me. And I will also admit that they have made some changes to enhancement that I don't entirely like or agree with. But at the same time, when I test out certain things in enhancement, like if I look at the numbers and such, I'm like, oh, okay, I get what they're going for with, say, the top recommended builds and such. But that doesn't necessarily mean it feels all that fun to play. Because here's the thing. People will often go by whatever is simming the best. And the thing is, whatever sims the best is not always going to be either the most fun to play or is going to be extremely dependent on very certain specific things. Like, for example, there's a trinket that my Demon Hunter is supposed to get because it's supposed to be considered a really good trinket. However, it's dependent on whether or not your allies in the group or raid team die. Because everyone that dies, it resets the cooldown, allowing you to use it more often. There's the Enhancement Shaman. But the thing is, that's obviously a very situational thing, isn't it? That you're relying on your teammates to die in order to reset the cooldown to get the most out of this trinket, which is supposed to sim really high, but only if those circumstances happen. Now, sometimes those things will happen, but sometimes they just never will happen. So this is why I have always said for months, ever since I've really been delving into this with my guild raid group and such, is that while sims can be helpful, don't take them as the end all be all. Don't treat sims as if they are the absolute fact and truth about what is best or to use. Whatever may sim best, that may not be entirely what's best for you, because everyone plays different characters and such differently. Now, I know some are going to say, well, that means they're just not going to get the most out of it, and yes, that can be true sometimes. But at the same time, making a player have to play it in a way they're not used to, now you have a situation where you are having somebody play something in a way they're not used to, and therefore they don't feel very comfortable, and also are having to play a certain rotation such that they're not used to in the slightest, which means they're less likely to do better than how they normally would on a rotation that they do know. a build that they do know how to play. So you're probably going to get more out of that player for playing something they know how to play as opposed to something they don't know how to play, even if it's simming better, because they don't know how it's supposed to run and such. Now, there are, of course, ways to learn how to play something better. I'm not saying, like, they can't or shouldn't, or, you know, I'm not saying that they don't have to. If they want to learn how to do so, then great. But if they do learn it and it just doesn't feel right to them, or it just doesn't gel well with their playstyle and what they like to do, then they're probably going to get more out of what they like to play as opposed to the other one. Now, what they like to play may not be... It may be considered the worst build. But, you know... Unfortunately, we are in a situation where the way that they design these builds and such is just kind of like... You're almost forced to have to play what is considered the best. Because even though Blizzard says things like, oh, you can be able to create your own builds and play what you want... As much as I would like for that to be true, the reality is that in this day and age, in this game, with the way people run sims and are always posting what are considered the absolute best things for you to get and to run in terms of builds and best in slot for gear and all that stuff, it's just likely not going to happen, because as much as Blizzard wants to encourage people to play how they want to play, the community is always going to find things that make them go, I would, you know, that...
I need a target.
You know, like Sims, to tell them, oh, this is the best. If you want to do the best in terms of your damage output to help your group, you have to run this, you have to get this item, you have to do this. Because if you don't, you're just not going to do nearly as well as this other person who does have this stuff. Or does have this other build that is considered the best build. So as nice as it is a sentiment for Blizzard to encourage this, make your own build and play how you want to play, I forgot. All these years later, you still can't fly in the Blood Mist Isle. I totally forgot about that. Notice how there's lots of players looking for these things because they're not respawning very fast. But I figured this would be something for me to talk about while I'm looking for these things. Because what are we doing? We're looking for 8 bear asses, basically. But, also, this guy got apparently so bored he went AFK. But, It's something I really would like for it to be a reality, but the actual reality is that it's just not going to be the case. So now what I'm doing is I'm just putting a dot on there to get credit, but then let a couple other players also get credit. And you know that right now that's what players are doing. We are running around looking for these things, waiting for them to respawn, so that we can get credit for this quest. And the thing is, you'll notice not all of them are actually dropping the bones. So the bones are not guaranteed drops, and there's not enough of them, and they're not respawning fast enough. Boy, this feels like old school quest design, right? Make them have to wait for long periods of time to make them keep playing. Make them have to get these things that are not guaranteed drops. Isn't this wonderful? Isn't this fun? Isn't this old school the way it should be and is supposed to be? And oh gosh, I hate that mentality. Forgive me, I'm one of those who thinks the old school way of doing things is not the best way just because it's nostalgic. It's bad quest design is what it is. Yeah, I was waiting for them to show up. I get credit, they tag it. There we go. Alright, that's 3 of 8 now. Yeah, people are in chat are not happy about this quest, and I agree. This feels like an old school, like, vanilla Burning Crusade quest. Spending many more minutes hunting down stuff than you need to because There aren't enough mobs, they're not respawning fast enough, and they're not guaranteed drops. 3 horrible designs for this kind of quest. And I feel like whoever designed this quest may have been an old school dev that preferred those old school classic ways. And you can see a lot of people are not happy about it. And I agree. So already I'm having far less fun right now doing this Heritage Armor questline than I was doing, say, the Troll one. The Troll one did not have any of this. It didn't have, hey, go get these things, but they're not guaranteed drops, because there were a couple of quests like that, hey, go collect these things, but there was a lot of them, they respawned fast, and they were guaranteed drops. Get my dot on it. Yeah, even someone else is saying this reminds me of the classic days. It is very BC, which I guess is what the intention is, because, of course, remember, the Draenei were introduced in the game in Burning Crusade. Of course, no guaranteed drop. Gosh, that is awful. We are spending way too much time here. Oh my gosh, one spawned. And I'm going to now move over here and not do anything more, because I want other players to get over here and get credit for it. This Death Knight used their Frostworm to hit it and get credit. That was hilarious. That is someone desperately trying to get credit for this quest, using a big cooldown like that to quick get it. Oh man, that was funny. Ah, they killed it before I could get credit. Ah. Oh, hey. Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, dude, don't kill them so fast. Let other players get to them so they can tag it. That's why I'm just simply doing my dot and then...
I'm out of range.
There we go. Alright, 6 of 8. And I guess to continue what I was saying is that I suppose when Blizzard was saying that, they were saying that for people who are not intending to be in high-level play, because that's really kind of the thing, isn't it? Because Ian has talked about this in interviews, about how they offer all these things depending on what it is that you're wanting to do. That if you're planning on doing high-level content, then yeah, you're probably going to want to go ahead and do all these different things to give you more options on how to get stuff. But if that's not what you're if that's not what you're intending to do in terms of content you want to play, then you don't have to. And therefore, you wouldn't have to run whatever the best build is. You can just play whatever you want, because you're just playing the game or doing specific content you want. You're not pushing high-level content. And I guess that's really the crux. Is that the right term I'm looking for? Like, the ultimate kind of thing here is that ultimately, it depends on what you're wanting to do in terms of how far you're wanting to push the content.
I don't...
Oh my gosh, he killed it before I could even tag it. Alright, now I gotta say something. I guess in the meantime, I'll just go ahead and turn in this other quest.
Yes? What is it? Beware of strangers.
Curious. These crystals appear similar to the others erupting from blood mist, but their placement on these totems seems deliberate. I will study them further.
For thousands of years, we hunted our own people.
Ha. Why are you going after... Oh, it's because of the dot. See, all I did was put a dot on it, but then I'm trying to... Wait. Why can't I loot this? Did it... Oh my gosh. It must have de-aggroed me at the very last second, and therefore I didn't get credit, even though I did tag it. Oh gosh, this really is old school questing, isn't it? Okay. I've got my 8. That took up way more time than it needed to. Fix that blizzard.
I hear you. Speak. We will never give up.
He snaps one of the bones and then sniffs the frothing marrow tentatively and frowns. Lesser demons do not corrupt creatures this deeply. Their fell disease can barely spread beneath the skin, much less the bones or the soul. These are no weak imps that we are dealing with.
Now the depth of corruption in these animals. It is not the work of lesser demons.
There is a larger threat behind these attacks, then?
Yes. These crystals were made into fell spreaders. No satyr could do that. A Manari artificer made them. I know it.
I cannot in good conscience gather the Draenei for the Tishamat if we are threatened this close to home. If one of the Manari is using the satyr to orchestrate these attacks, or to distract us from some larger foul purpose, then they must be rooted out immediately. We will divide our efforts to look for the signs of the enemy. Arzal will search the northern satyr camp. You, Hatun, and myself will search the closer camp.
The light will guide... Arzal, search the satyr camp to the north. Champion, Hatun, come with me and search the camp to the west.
Of course. Hatun, take this Sargerite shard. It will guide you towards any fell magic of Manari origin.
Sargerite. If you think it will help, Arzal.
Let us begin our search.
I am slain.
I need to target something first. It's too far away.
That's not the right way. No.
A cloaking spell. Cowardly Legion tactics. Why did you not see this before, Valen?
I do not know, but we must destroy it.
No. Looks like it's this way. We're getting closer.
Enoch Creon!
I need a target.
Fell spreaders were rooting the corruption to Bloodmist all this time, and you let it run rampant. Why?
To protect the Rangari, I pulled them out of Bloodmist. Their lives were worth more to me. I stand by my decision.
I don't have a target.
There's one more. Is it over here? Yeah. I think it is. Yep, there it is.
It is done. The Sagarite shard is no longer reacting to energies here.
Indeed. We should return it to Arzal at the northern camp.
Thanks for the speed boost.
This Satyr camp appears abandoned, but the fell resonance is stronger here than anywhere else on the island.
Without faith, the battle is lost.
We did not find the Manari responsible, but when we do, they will pay.
You are the instrument of change.
Demons will corrupt areas not only to claim territory, but also to empower themselves. The stronger the corruption, the more power we can draw from it. It's like metal being heated by a fire. If I am correct, Manari conscripted these Satyr to hide their fell spreaders across Bloodmist for exactly that purpose. Whoever they are, they would be rather powerful by now.
Wisdom guide your
Can you
path.
hear that? The silence? The area is empty. Not even the rabid wildlife dare approach the camp. I do not see any immediate cause, but the fell resonance here is overwhelming. I sense it was woven by Manari hands, but I am being blocked from probing more deeply. Something is hidden. It must be the cloaking magic Hatun reported from the other camp that hinders me. I can dispel it, but I cannot guarantee what we will find when I do.
It is too quiet here. Be wary of an ambush.
Hatun is right. Something is hidden here. and I will reveal it.
Do what you must, Arzal. We will follow your lead.
Malades Enkil! Maev Rakatiros! More fell spreaders, buried across the whole island. Hundreds of them.
We must act quickly. Champion, call Romul. We need his aid.
Ramul? Hold on, pull out my communicator. Beep, beep, beep. Water Qatar to Ramul, come in. Pretending it's a Star Trek communicator.
Champion. I'm a little busy right now with the preparations. What do you need?
Romul, transport one of our generators to the champion's location, immediately.
What? Yes, Prophet, right away. Calibrating transport, generator inbound.
I feel like Ramul is becoming our, gosh, who would I compare him to? If this was TOS, I could probably compare him to our Scotty. And I love Scotty. Scotty was my favorite character in the original series. Don't get me wrong. I love Kirk, Spock, and Bones. But Scotty. I love Scotty. In TNG, keep in mind I'm only up in TNG, so I have no equivalent to the other series yet. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm still working my way through TNG. I guess he would be our... Geordie? Maybe?
We welcome your help.
I expect the Satyr will swarm us once we begin to charge the generator. Tell me when you are ready to begin. I am ready, Prophet.
Hatun and I will overcharge the generator. The Satyr will sense the energy building. Champion, Arzal, hold them off!
You got it.
With pleasure.
My elemental will help with that.
Corruption will claim you.
Gotta get my buffs back. I gotta stay in this field because
I need to target something first.
It is constantly healing me. Because it's Velen.
Tear your flesh! The bell!
I don't have a target.
Stare! Tear your flesh! Paris!
You will not ruin my plans again, Draenei. My magic has claimed this land, and will soon claim every last soul in your wrecked city!
Sironas. She actually looks more like a demon hunter.
This threat was beyond what I expected to find here. But it could not stand against us united.
Nice
With
job,
the corruption
Velen.
removed, Blood Mist will finally begin to heal. As will our people. Together. Be just.
Argus will always be ours.
I will admit that Velen's plan was serviceable.
Beware the Legion's wrath.
If Seronis reforms one day, I will rip her soul apart myself.
For thousands of years we hunted our own people. It may take that
is
time
done.
and more to be redeemed.
I could not have imagined the threat in Bloodmist had grown this dangerous. Thank the light that I chose to bring Hatun and Arzal here. This could not have been done without them, without all of us.
The light will guide your way.
With Seronis slain once again, Bloodmist will finally be able to heal. Her influence was no doubt anchoring the corruption to the land. It is another reason to celebrate today. But it is not the true reason that I called Hatun and Arzal to Azeroth. I would have them attend the Tishamat with us. The sacrament asked us to reflect on the past and commit to a better future. The unity of our efforts epitomizes that. I will bring them to the Exodar. Please join us when you are ready.
You are the instrument of change. Now, truthfully, I did not invite you to Azeroth merely for this mission, but for the Tishamat as well.
The Tishamat? Thank you. But surely my presence would cast a shadow over the sacrament.
The first sacrament of Tishamat asks us to reflect on the shadows of our past. I will make sure you feel welcome.
As you wish, Prophet.
Hatun, this may seem to you a hollow gesture, but I would like us to speak. The Tishamat asks, we learn from our mistakes.
I will consider it. Let us go.
Right behind you guys. Wow. Look at all the different Draenei here for the Tishamat. Even some named ones. These are not just Tishamat celebrants. Look. The Earthen Ring are here. Remember Janai and Yiva from the Shaman Order Hall? The Tears Guard for Lune. And Sorvos.
I have found my purpose, to serve others by following Tyr.
Relun, Tishad. Boros and Arzal. Oh, this is... They're probably having an interesting conversation.
Do not be afraid.
I am thankful for the Vindicator's presence. It appears to comfort the others. And Boros has offered to guide me around Azuremist after the Tishamat has concluded. I suspect it is an order from the Prophet, but I will not refuse the gift, however unmerited.
Wisdom guide your path.
The Triumvirate has been assigned to escort Arzal and the other penitents during the Tishamat. Although I trust the Prophet's judgment, I had the same apprehensions as the others when we were quietly informed some time ago. Perhaps I will always have those apprehensions. For now, I will accept that their past might not be their future. They will be given the chance to prove it.
Blessings upon you.
Well, good for you, Boros.
Good fortune.
Meras, Kuros, Aeson, Oh my gosh, Valzoon is here!
What is it?
Be on your way. Are you with the penitents? I've spoken with Arzul. We share the same vision, if not all the same motivations. If he needs my blade, he has it.
We shall see.
You guys remember Valzoon, right? From the Rogue Order Hall in Legion? I mean, he wasn't actually part of the Order Hall, but we did interact with him during the quest to get the Fangs as the Subtlety Rogue. The Warlock trainers are here. Why'd you have to bring that disgusting mount to this? That is not what you bring to a Tishamat. That's the kind of thing that gets you kicked out of here. Ugh. If I ever get that mount, that's one mount I'm never going to use because of how gross and disgusting it is. Like, I'm sorry, as much as I like collecting mounts, that is a mount I have no intention of ever using because of how horrible it is. This reminds me of, Akama! Well, it doesn't remind me of Akama, but...
defeat the Burning Legion.
I had almost forgotten Kelios. So darkened are my memories of that distant past, so narrowed. But he speaks of Karabor's beauty as if he looked upon it only yesterday. And for a moment I can almost see it.
What do you think of Hatun?
I respect anyone with that much demon blood on their hands. Hatun knows as well as I do what it is to live amidst the ashes of your home, to see it defiled while you are powerless to stop it. It is a feeling you do not forget. I trust us both to never let it happen again.
What do you think of the penitents?
The loyalties of demons are fleeting. Sometimes that can be useful. I have known some demons to serve the Illidari, fighting against their former Legion masters. I am not surprised that some Manari would also turn on the hand that fed them. Watch them closely.
I'm getting too old for this.
Oh, Akama. You are not.
We must preserve the sanctity of the fallen.
We brought these spirits to the Tishamat so that the sacrament may help relieve them of their burdens and allow them to truly rest, but I did not expect that they might help ease the burdens of others as well. I believe that this will truly make a difference for them, both the living and the dead. Thank you for helping make this a possibility.
Tradition binds my people.
There's Nabundo.
Do not give up.
It is comforting to know that the Akunai are once again caring for the spirits of our fallen.
Lero here.
Lero here was once my commander. In death, he is still a dear friend. I will treasure this brief moment with him.
Dorna.
We must never forget.
Once I come of age, Nabundo says I can take the trials to become a real shaman.
I look forward to you joining the Earthen Ring. I would like for her to react to me like, "You're the Farseer?"
Ora Teramus.
Thank you for helping me bring those spirits to the Tishamat. One of the hardest parts of being a kunai is knowing that you cannot save every soul. But for the ones you can, it makes all the difference to them. And that is enough.
Never back down.
If it's not obvious, I'm really enjoying the fact that... What I was going to say is that this reminds me of the Orc Heritage Armor questline when we had the big gathering with all the named orcs there. And here we have a bunch of named Draenei here, like Ashtun Kanai. Number of other ones that you probably have seen before at some point in this game. A lot of named Draenei characters here. Now some, of course, are Exodar NPCs, but some of these are brought here because they were part of other things as well that are not normally here. There's the cheese vendor. Dipatos! Hey! Hey, my buddy Tepartos! You guys remember Tepartos, right? From the Lightforged Draenei questline? Oh, I love Tepartos. Tepartos! I just love that was his battle cry. Well, Jadar and Azric.
Each day is a blessing.
I told Azric that everyone would be speaking Draenei, but he insisted on following me here anyway. Do you know how many favors that I have had to pull with the peacekeepers?
Remember the lessons of the past.
My Draenei is perfectly serviceable. Thanks to Jadar, I've swiftly learned every curse word in your language, and then some. What else could possibly be needed?
We will have justice!
That's funny. Because, of course, what's one of the first things you do when you're trying to learn a new language? All the curse words, of course. I believe I remember these guys from the Draenei starting zone, if my memory serves correctly.
Arkenan Poros.
Yep, I'm pretty sure I remember these guys from the Draenei starting zone. Huh, Balanya. And Barat the Longshot. Miners. More trainers. Look at that old Draenei model. Look at that. That's Warcraft 3 old Draenei model right there. Oh my gosh.
Not give up.
Kumisha the Collector. It was never about going home. It was about going back to a life that I hungered for. A life that consumed me. A life that no longer existed. But I do. I still exist. And after I set foot in Shattrath again, no longer the same man, no longer the same home, I made a new life. Breaking a gem only reveals new facets. The more thoroughly it is crushed, the more it glitters. The Eredar endure, and I with them.
Shield.
I didn't think those models existed anymore. Hatun?
We fight.
He is here.
We survive.
He's just kind of, you know, it's like, look, I'm here, alright?
Please tell me the generator is offline for a good reason. No, actually, do not. I do not want to know.
Is the generator ever offline for a good reason?
Come, speak with me.
It has been a very long day. Without your help, it would have been even longer.
We will endure.
What? Alright, fine, Tanya. I'll leave you alone. Ymera, I believe she's from the Mage Order Hall.
Not all who wander are lost.
It brings me great joy to see the Eredar gathered together at last.
Many depend on you.
The Tishamat was once a solitary holiday. Each Eredar would inscribe a stone with a painful memory we carried. We would reflect on what that memory could teach us, then commit to moving forward with that wisdom. At last, the stones are dissolved in the flame. At last, the stones are dissolved in the flame of reprieve, symbolically removing the weight from our souls. Today, the Tishamat will be celebrated not in solitude, but as a community. Gather the stones of those who would trust you with them, and then take them to the flame. Collect 10 memory stones and create your own memory stone, and then dissolve the stones in the flame.
Be just. You will serve as our Tishatan, the memory bearer of Tishamot. It is a solemn role. Take this basin and gather our people's memory stones. Take them to the flame of reprieve and lift our burdens.
So it gave me a custom outfit and such to wear for doing this. Okay. Ramul.
Our time is now, hero.
May I take your memory stone to the flame of reprieve?
Eternal progress, ever forward. This is what the Order of Artificers was founded on many millennia ago. But each step begins in the soil we have already tread.
May the Legion
Tanya?
fall before you.
May I take your memory stone to the flame of reprieve? Construction of this architectural marvel will represent the pinnacle of Draenei artificing. The Vindicar will look like a child's toy compared to what we will make together. You have my word.
Want a better future? You have to create it first.
Hatun?
I will lead my people through any darkness. We will never give up.
I can ask Velen. So, Velen, may I have your memory stone?
In your hands you carry more than simply a symbol of the sacrament. You carry our pain and our hope, our regret and our endurance. You hold precisely what it means to be Draenei. Walk softly, but with pride.
You are the instrument of change.
It has been a long time since I last saw this many Eredar in one place. Perhaps not since Argus was corrupted, when I still served on the council of the Triumvirate. Velen chose me to be his chief counselor. We knew each other, trusted each other. Another life, as distant as Argus from this place.
He falls silent, mulling over the past. May I take your memory stone to the flame?
Take it away.
You wanted to speak with me, Velen?
Yes, of course. On a matter of great importance.
Well, is it not always a matter of great importance with you?
I suppose it is. But on this auspicious occasion, I was hoping we could reconcile and return to a place of trust.
Some wounds take time to heal, Prophet. Though Argus is far from this place and feels like another life.
We trusted one another once.
We were young and foolish once as well.
We were indeed. If we knew then what we know now. Hatun, you have always been the best of us. I have missed your wisdom. Come, serve with me again as you once did on our council. I need your guidance once more.
Velen,
You do not have to answer me now. Enjoy the Tishamot. But there will always be a seat open for you, if you want it.
Thank you. I will think on it. Our time
Very nice.
has come.
Very nicely done, Velen. Very nicely done. Arzul.
Yes? What is it?
May I take your memory stone to the flame? I could carve an entire mountain and still fall short of all that I must write. But this is something. Every day must be something.
Beware of strangers promising strength and power.
Boros, your memory stone? I have helped see the Draenei through many beginnings, but this one feels different. Nothing feels as though it is ending, only blending into the dawn.
Remain vigilant.
Hey, Valzoon! Never mind.
Old friends, newcomers.
Oh, I'll see him later. Akama.
Akal Hector.
So, may I have your memory stone, Akama?
I have suffered much in my wandering. Perhaps it is time to return.
Chronicae Christor.
Nabundo, my friend.
I am listening.
May I have your memory stone?
We will never, must never give up.
The future will bring us precisely what we need, if only we open our arms to allow it.
With faith, there is a way.
Huh. Niall.
This is such a puzzling world.
I almost refuse to come. I've lived in Terrakar since what happened. It was not a perfect situation, but after a time it became comfortable, stable, solitary. After what my Rangari and I allowed to happen, I could not return to living among those I had failed. But perhaps the Tishamat is the correct time to confront that guilt. May I have your memory stone? The solitude of the past decades has been crushing and self-imposed. Thank you for helping to make the Tishamat happen once more. We needed it. I needed it.
The Draenei shall overcome.
One more. Who am I missing? Huh. Oh. I missed this group up here earlier. Huh. Ishana. The High Priestess from the Priest Order Hall.
Chronicae Christor.
I see you were able to drag the High Artificer from her workshop at the Aldo Rise. The Prophet need not have worried. I would have dragged her here myself had you failed. She had been working on those schematics for ages. I never did ask what they were for, but I suppose we shall all learn soon enough. May I take your memory stone to the flame? Through the light, all pains are softened, all sorrows lessened. We will never forget the bite that left the scar, but we can master the memory of its sting.
Good health, long life.
Do you need my counsel?
Are you ready to create your memory stone? It has been some time since the last Tishamat, so I have been advising celebrants on the ritual. First, you must inscribe your name near the top of the stone. So I can either choose my character's name, my current title, because I am a shaman, Artificer, of Argus, of Draenor, or of the Exodar. Well, let's see. I'm thinking about how I've been determining how to play this character and how she would identify herself. Being a Draenei does mean a great deal to her, but she's also come to really care about being a shaman as well. When she went through the events of Legion and the Shaman Order Hall, taking over for Thrall as the Farseer of the Earthen Ring with the aid of her close friend Nabundo, it meant a great deal to her. So she wears that title of the Farseer with pride, because she knows what it means to not just herself, but also to the rest of the Earthen Ring. And below that, inscribe a description of the memory whose burden you wish to be relieved of. We must remember the lessons of the past, but those memories need not weigh us down eternally. If we are stooped under the burden of regret, of pain, of guilt, we can make no progress. A memory whose burden you wish to be relieved of. So I could either choose my old home, someone who was once close to me, a treasured item, a lost chance, a terrible decision I once made, something that I couldn't control, a moment of time that was gone too soon, or I could just write nothing. This is interesting. An interesting choice here. And of course they're all vague. I think I'm going to go with a treasured item, because when she inherited those artifact weapons in Legion from Thrall, the Doomhammer, the Fist of Ra-Den, and the Scepter, but especially also the Doomhammer, even though I haven't really played her as enhancement, still, inheriting something like that from someone she had a great deal of respect for, like Thrall, meant a great deal for him to pass that on to her. And we had to, basically just get rid of them at the end of Legion, Which to me is still kind of a really, that we did that to such iconic weapons like the Doomhammer and the Ashbringer. We use them on the sword and then, toss them over to the side or something? Or just stash them away, Like those mighty powerful weapons of lore are just gone now.
When you are ready.
Toss
the stones into the flame of reprieve. Feel their weight lift from your soul as they burn.
Sorry, I was not expecting him to actually have voice acting.
Tell the prophet our burdens have been lifted and the ceremony can begin. Light bless you.
The Draenei have suffered, scattered, and solitary for too long. Today we allow ourselves to rely on each other.
Antion Akorko.
I believe I hear the prophet calling the attendants before the stage. I am curious to see what he and Ramul plan to announce now that everyone is gathered. We should make haste, yes? So we will get the Ensemble Heritage of the Draenei, which will include the Embrace of Lost Embari set, the Endurance of Temple Telemat set, and 2 additional matching helms. The appearances can only be used by non-Lightforged Draenei characters. And we will also get a toy, the Dranic Hologem, which will return you to Valdrakken. Oh, wait, no, this is a, speak to an keeper of different. So only Draenei, Lightforged Draenei can use the Hologem. So it's one of those toys that you can use instead of your regular Hearthstone. You can just go ahead and use this instead. But it's interesting that this is exclusive to Draenei and Lightforged Draenei.
May we...
Friends, Draenei, please lend us your attention. The ceremony will begin shortly.
Something is amiss on this world.
For many, this may be your first Tishamat. Our last was long ago. Few among us remember it. But even here, in another place and another time, its meaning remains the same. We must let go of the past to grasp our future. No longer must we live scattered, lamenting Argus. We will build a city on the ashes of our exile. We will finally be home.
I hope that's going to be an actual in-game thing, that Blizzard is going to actually have a new version of Shatrath to be the new home of the Draenei, not the Exodar, this new city that he's actually, like, talking about. I want that to be an actual thing in this game.
We welcome your help.
Today marks the beginning of a new age for the Eredar. We are one people, united in purpose. And we will never be broken apart again.
This moment could not have happened without you, champion. By your hand, the Legion was broken. Our long journey ended. And our people reforged as one. In gratitude, we bestow on you as a paragon of our people, a sacred vestment crafted of precious materials from Argus. Atar Vahishana, Matirim Ita. Beneath the eternal stars, we walk together.
Thank you, Velen.
The title High Artificer means
nope.
I am very...
Tanya is still not happy. Alright. So, it's pretty similar to what you already saw during the ceremony, except now you can see the actual helm that comes with it. It's not bad. So this is the purple one. And we get the orange one. Yeah, I think I prefer the purple one.
I have just the thing, Wanderer.
So it doesn't come with a back.
Beware of Yeti!
Oh, hold on. That's right, we also get a couple of other helms. Ah. So we can either get one with a face mask covering our face, or not. Interesting.
Many deals for a friend of the Grumbles. He's like you. Good fortune to our friends.
Nah.
Well,
she doesn't need to hide her face. Okay. And then, of course, we have just kind of like, it's still going on. It'll eventually dissipate. Oh my gosh. That's very similar to the one I made. And there's a Horde character that is here just because they want to crash the party. Huh. Gotta love these PvP players, right?
I lend you my strength.
Although it is fun to see that some of them are actually, like, having fun interacting with each other. And that there's no PvP shenanigans going on here to kind of ruin it. Well, it's not bad. I do like that it's got that kind of same feel. I wouldn't say I would put this above the Orc one. I think the Orc one was a bit more fun, you know, in terms of this big gathering and such. But
we stand united.
Nice to see this is a friendly PvP player. Yes, a Blood Elf is speaking Orcish, apparently. Anyways. I would say my biggest gripe with this questline was that one quest where it was getting the bones, and as you saw, we were literally having to spend a whole bunch of time just trying to get those pieces, and it was just like, ugh, you know? Trying to get them all. Other than that, this was not a bad questline, but it wasn't as fun for me, personally, as, say, the Orc one, or even the one that came out with this patch, the Troll one. I think the Troll one was a bit more fun, and had less of a hassle, like that one quest. But, and I also personally like the Troll one a little bit more than this one, but this one's not bad, you know? But anyways. And of course now we get that, yeah, the Exar's under attack, lol. Anyways, and of course they're now going to go around and kill NPCs that are here celebrating the, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Rather unfortunate, but whatever. Anyways, that's the Draenei Heritage Armor questline. You get this set, the other one, a couple of extra helms, and this Hollow Gem toy, which is pretty cool. She'll probably use this for her Hearthstone from now on. And I believe that is now every single one of the Heritage Armors that are in the game. For every race except for the Evokers. Oh, and the Pandarans. When are we getting our Pandaran Heritage Armor? Seriously, I'm looking forward to that. Not necessarily in terms of how it looks, but the quest line. I want a Pandaran Heritage quest line. That sounds wonderful for me. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.